Okay, so tell me a little bit about yourself and how you got involved in the disability community.
Yeah, so my name is Kelsey Warlick, and I currently live in Charlotte, North Carolina. I was a special education teacher in the school system for about 6 years. I was a high school teacher, teaching varying individuals with disabilities, and co-teaching classes such as like Algebra 1 and different math classes. And then when I moved to the Charlotte area, I found Best Buddies International, and they were looking to start their jobs program, which entails integrated competitive employment, which is really person-centered in our practices. So Best Buddies International is a huge organization, nonprofit, that serves people with intellectual and developmental disabilities. So my role as the senior employment consultant is really to get referrals from vocational rehabilitation and get to know individuals and what their skills are, what their interests are, and really be able to find a job and help them seek a job out that they're going to enjoy and be happy in and be able to really be successful.
Yeah, because that was my next question. Like tell me about your work as an employment consultant.
Yeah. So every day looks a little bit different. So I have a caseload of about 12 people right now, where some are working, some are in the job development piece where we're still looking for jobs, working on resumes, practicing interviews, practicing different skills. But I also go in and check on people who are already working to make sure that everything's still going smoothly. I'll end up going back to their job, maybe if they're trying a new job task, just to coach them on that particular job and see if they need any help, provide any accommodations, kind of give them ideas and kind of help employers also understand what accommodations are and when they can implement them.
That's cool. So like in terms of like really helping people with disabilities get employment, like how do you do that? How do you go about like finding a job, like maintaining a job and like supporting them throughout the way? Because oftentimes people with disabilities often struggle to find jobs and it's really, just hard for them. So I'm wondering, like, what's the process like, so to speak?
Definitely. So I kind of touched on the person-centered piece, but the big piece for us is making sure that we're finding a job that each individual is interested in. So let's say if they're interested in retail, finding an employer that's open to hiring individuals with disabilities is the first step, and making sure they understand what our job coaching services are and making sure they're all on board. And that can be what we call we have community partners that kind of give us leads on different jobs and different people. We are constantly meeting with people within our community to see if they're interested in hiring. And that's kind of the first step. And then once someone's hired, we're there to support them the lifetime of their job, which is a big difference with Best Buddies. We want to support someone as long as they have a job, especially if they have any issues that come up in the future with their managers. And we like to make sure that they're having those accommodations put in place that help them be successful and make sure that it's competitive.
hmm Yeah, so like who are the key players when it comes to finding, seeking, and maintaining employment? Like who are like the main people that you work with, whether that is uh, like like vocational rehabilitation offices or anything else? Who are the main people that you guys are involved with?
Yeah, so I like to think of like each individual has a different team. So we get our referrals from vocational rehabilitation. So that counselor is really involved in the whole process here in North Carolina. So they're involved in the job development piece. They have to improve the employment, and they're kind of helping us make sure that we're putting that individual in the right placement. The individual is also really responsible for helping us look for jobs and kind of being honest and making sure that it's something that they're interested in. I've brought jobs to individuals before and they've been like, I don't have an interest in doing that. I'm like, okay, we keep looking. And then obviously the managers and the natural support. So the people within a job that kind of help others and helping them identify that are they're definitely key players as well.
hmm Yeah. Lastly, how can sort of the HR and employment sector create an equitable and accessible world for people with disabilities?
Yeah, I think my first instinct is to say listen. Listen to what our individuals with disabilities in that community, what they need, what makes them successful, and understanding that when you meet one person with a disability, you've met one person with a disability, and understanding that accommodations can look different for each individual as they grow in a job. It can change, and really just open your ears as an HR and be open to accommodations that you may not typically think of.
Important points there.